Good day everyone, I am Chandra Grace B. Jimenez from Study Hub 4. So today, I'll be discussing or I'll be sharing something very important, not just for future teacher like me, but also for parents, caregivers, and society. So, Chanli, what is child and adolescent development? Child and adolescent development is the study of how people or young people grow physically, emotionally, socially, and cognitively, from infancy to through teenage years. Children and adolescents are not just small adults. They go through rapid changes that shape their future. Infancy starts with 0 to 2 years old. Babies grow and learn very quickly. They develop motor skills like crawling and walking. They form strong attachment to parents or caregivers. For example, a baby smiles at a parent. It shows early social and emotional development. Early childhood, 2 to 6 years old. Toddlers and preschoolers start exploring independence. They learn language, basics moral, alphabets, and imagination through play. A picture. 4-year-old pretending to be a teacher or superhero. This shows creativity and social learning. Middle to late childhood, 6 to 11 years old. School-age children improve in problem solving, reading, and teamwork. They also begin to develop self-confidence. Think of a child solving math without fingers for the first time. That's a cognitive growth. Fourth, adolescence. Adolescents start with 12 to 18 years old. Teenagers undergo puberty, identity formation, and emotional changes. They seek independence, spend more time with friends, and prepare for adult. Rules, for example, when a teenage argues with parents about freedom, it's part of finding their identity. We will talk about the physical. Think of a toddler learning to walk. At first, they stumble and fall, but with a practice and support, they eventually run confidently. That's physical development. Cognitive. Imagine a grade schooler trying to solve math problem. At first, they count with their fingers, but later on, they can also solve mentally. That shows growth thinking and problem solving. Emotional. A picture of a teenager shows who sometimes argue with parents. It may look like rebellion, but it's really part of forming identity and independence. Last one is social. Remember your first group project in school? You had to learn cooperation, sharing ideas, and resolving conflicts. That's social development at work. So why we need to study, or why it is important to study child and adolescent development? As future educators, we must create lessons that it fit the age developmental stage of our students. A playful activity may excite a child in grade 2, but in high schooler might find it childish. Second, it helps us respond with understanding instead of judgment. For example, when a child throws a tantrums, we know it's not because they are bad, but because they are still learning how to express their emotions. Or when a teenager prefers friends over family, we understand it's normal step in social development. Third, it prepares us to guide them toward becoming capable adults. If we know that their needs at each stage, we can support not only academics but also mental health, values, and life skills. In Tagalog, kapag naiintindihan natin ang isang bata, mas nagiging epektibo tayong guro at mas mapag-unawa tayong magulang at mas nagiging matatag ang ating lipunan. So the original scene view, which came from the Middle Ages and was influenced by Christian theology, particularly Saint Augustine, it teaches that children are born inherently evil, and the role of parents or teachers is to instill morality through discipline and salvation. John Locke's tabula rasa or blank state. From the 17th century, John Locke believed that children are shaped entirely by experience, and through proper education, upbringing determine their character. The innate goodness view of Jean-Jacques Rousseau in the 18th century, he argued that children are naturally good and should be given the freedom to grow with minimal interference from adults. To sum up this studying child and adolescent development, it's not just about theories. It's about understanding the journey of human growth from child to adolescent development. Every child who takes their first step, every student who struggles with math, every teenager searching for identity, these are real stories of development that need our guidance. So let us remember,
my name is Mayan A. Lopez. I am the reporter number 2, and this report is about modern day concerns for children. So, children are very important in building the future, but many of them experience challenges in health, education, culture, and even in the laws that should protect them. In this report, I will explain these concerns in simple ways. So, number 1 is health and well-being. So, many children today suffer from poverty and lack of food, which leads to malnutrition or being underweight and weak. Malnutrition affects how they grow and even how they perform in schools. Some children do not have access to proper health care, meaning they cannot easily see a doctor or get medicine when they are sick. This makes even simple illnesses dangerous. So, children are also exposed to violence at home, in their communities, or even in school crises, such as natural disaster, wars, or family problem add stress to their young lives. Another growing problem is substance abuse, where children may be influenced by drug, alcohol, or smoking. All these issues affect not only their physical health but also their mental and emotional well-being, making it hard for them to live happy and safe lives. Number 2 is education. After COVID-19, schools and learning system changed a lot. Online classes, gadgets, and their internet became necessary for studying. However, not all children had access to technology, which created a gap between students. Some were able to keep up while others were left behind. So teachers also face challenges because children have different learning needs. Some learn fast, while others need more time and help. Teachers must find creative ways to teach using technology, while still making lessons interesting and understandable at the same time. So, children need support from both teacher and parents to stay motivated. Education is very important because it gives children the skills and knowledge they need for the future. If education is weak or unequal, children may not have the same opportunities in life. Number 3 is socio-cultural context. So, number 1 is culture. Tradition and practices passed down from parents and grandparents teach children values such as respect, kindness, responsibility. Culture also gives them sense of identity and pride in where they come from. Next is ethnicity. Children's sense of identity and belonging comes from their cultural heritage, language, and history. It helps them understand who they are and connect with their community. However, discrimination based on ethnicity can make children feel excluded, which is why respect for diversity is important. Next is gender and development, which is GAD. This promotes equality and empowerment for both boys and girls. In the past, boys often had more opportunities than girls, but today, society teaches that both genders should have equal rights in education, health, and opportunities. Next is sex versus gender. Sex is about being biologically male or female. Gender, on the other hand, is about identity shaped by society and culture. For example, roles or expectations placed on boys and girls. Understanding these differences helps children grow in environments where they can express themselves freely and be respected. Lastly is social policy and legislation. Laws and policies are very important in protecting children's rights. These laws make sure that children have access to food, healthcare, education, and protection against abuse and neglect. For example, child protection laws help prevent children labor, child marriage, and exploitation. Government programs such as free vaccines, feeding programs, and scholarship also support children's growth and learning. When laws are properly followed, children can grow up in a safe and supportive and fair environment where they are given equal opportunities no matter their background. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rona Bea F. Barco, the third reporter from Study Hub 4, and the next topic is about development process. Developmental process are the series of biological changes associated with information transfer, growth, and differentiation during the cycle of organism. In human development, it continues the process influenced by different factors that shapes how individuals grow, think, and interact with others. Among the most important areas are the biological, cognitive, and social-emotional development. These three dimensions are interconnected, working together to build a person's physical health, mental abilities, and emotional well-being. So the first is biological development. Physical growth, genetics, and brain development are areas that are closely interconnected in shaping an individual's overall health, abilities, and potential. Physical growth involves the changes in height, weight, and body structure that occur from infancy throughout adulthood. Genetics provides the blueprint for these changes, determining inherited traits such as eye color, height, and potential health risks. While brain development, on the other hand, influences how individuals think, learn, and adapt to their environment. By examining these biological factors, we gain a deeper understanding of how humans develop physically and mentally across the lifespan. The next is cognitive development. Cognitive development deals with the process of thinking, language, learning, and problem solving. It allows individuals to make sense of the world and apply knowledge in daily life. Thinking skills progress from simple recognition in early childhood to complex reasoning in adolescence and adulthood. Language develops, strengthens communication, and helps in expressing ideas, while learning builds the knowledge and skills through experiences, observations, and practice. Problem solving, on the other hand, equips individuals to face challenges by analyzing situations, finding effective solutions. So together, these aspects of cognition form the foundation for education, creativity, and decision making. And last is the social-emotional development. Social-emotional development focuses on emotions, relationships, and personality growth. Emotions influence how individuals react to situations and manage their feelings. Relationship, whether with family or the community, provide support and shape social skills like cooperation and empathy. Personal development involves the formation of traits, values, and attitudes that make each person unique. Confidence, resilience, and independence are among the qualities that strengthen an individual's ability to adapt and thrive in society. There are 6 principles of human development according to Sanchak 2002. First is the lifelong and continuous. Development doesn't end in adulthood. It is a continuous process spanning the entire lifespan from infancy through old age. Second is plastic, or open to change. Plasticity refers to the potential for change. Human development shows plasticity, meaning there's capacity for change and adaptation throughout life. The third is multidimensional. Development involves multiple domains, and these are the biological, cognitive, and emotional aspects that interplay. Fourth is contextual. Environmental factors such as family, culture, or society significantly influence development. Fifth is involves growth, maintenance, and regulation. Development encompasses process of growth, or increasing in complexity, maintenance, sustaining abilities, and regulation or managing processes. And 6 occurs in predictable patterns. Certain patterns like 6 is occurs in predictable patterns. Certain patterns like cephalocodal or head-to-toe growth. Cephalocodal development refers to infants gain control of head movements before mastering lower body movements. Overall, understanding these aspects helps in appreciating the complexity and richness of human development across lifespan.
And here's the second, which is called infancy, birth to use. Infancy is the development stage from birth until through 1-2 years of age. A person period characterized by rapid physical and mental growth, significant motor skills, development like sitting, crawling, and walking, the beginning of language and social bonding. Early childhood, 2 to 6 years, a developmental period from age 2 to 6, often called the preschool years, marked by significant physical, cognitive, social, and emotional growth. Children development greater motor skills rapidly expands their language and vocabulary from a sense of self and independence and begin to understand others' perspective. The third one is middle or late childhood, 6 to 12 years. A child's development path in their middle childhood years between 6 and 12 years of age contributes substantially to the adolescence and adult. They move into expanding roles and environments. Children begin to spend more time in school and other activities as they experience more of the world around them. Children begin to develop their own identity. And the last one is adolescence. 13 to 24 years. Adolescence is a period of significant development that begins with the onset of puberty and ends. And the last one is adolescence. Adolescence is a period of significant development that begins with the onset of puberty and ends in the mid-20s. Consider how different a person is the age of 12 from the person he or she is at age 12. The trajectory between those two ages involves a profound amount of change in all domains of development, biological, cognitive, and emotional. That's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone and Coach Jude. I am Chariana Flayson. Today I'll be discussing the three important topics in psychology. They are nature versus nurture, continuity versus discontinuity, and early versus later experiences. These ideas may sound a bit technical, but I explain them in a way that's simple and relatable so we can better understand how they connect to our own lives. So, number one, we have nature versus nurture. This one is about what really shape us as a people. When we say nature, it means the things we're born with, like our looks or talents. Nurture is about how we raise and what we experiences. So, to help you better understand, nature and nurture might work like this: if you're naturally good at singing, but without practice and support, that talent may not grow. Nature give us something to start with, and nurture help us build on it. So, number two, continuity versus discontinuity. This is how we develop. Continuity means growth that is slow and steady, like learning little by little every day. Discontinuity means growth happens in stages, like suddenly jumping to a new level. A good example about this is when a child suddenly learns how to talk in full sentences. That's discontinuity. But when we learn skills like cooking or playing basketball step by step, that's continuity. So, let's proceed to the last one. Now, the number three is early versus later experiences. So, this is about which matter more in shaping us. Our early years or later experiences. Some says what happens in childhood stick with us forever. For example, being loved or supported as a kid has a big impact on us. Other also says Even later experiences like teenage years or adulthood can change us a lot too. But for me, both are important because early experiences give us basic foundation, but later ones still shape the person we become. So, to conclude, I can say that who we are is shaped by both nature and nurture. What we're born with and what we experiences in life. Our growths can happen slowly, step by step, or in big jumps, that continuity and discontinuity. And of course, both our early and later experience have a big role in making us of who we are today. So, at the end of the day, all of this show the human development is really unique for each person. So, that's all. Thank you and good day, everyone.